So hi there. I'm going to do a quick review on something that I had as a project. I saw these things advertised and found them on eBay. I think it cost me about 30 bucks. And this is basically what it looks like. And here's what it is. Indeed, this is it in close-up. It's the ATSC pad phone TV receiver. Now, here's one of the problems I have with it, well, I got a number of problems. But they send you the wonderful thing is they send you an external antenna so that you can extend your reach a little more. You have this little dongle antenna that plugs into the bottom of this. Now, the way this works is it's supposed to plug into the bottom of, say, a tablet or a cell phone like this, and then you plug in your antenna. And then the software is supposed to recognize that it's plugged in and go from there. Technology sounds like a great concept, especially for me because I do want to be out and about. I do like the idea of being out camping, but also being able to receive local TV. And my area has great campgrounds that have great TV coverage near retransmission stations. Now, what they send with this is broken English instructions. That in itself doesn't bother me. Follow the instructions, simple enough. They direct you to the Google Play Store, download the app, and voila, you're supposed to be rocking and rolling. That's not what really happens because in the US, and they say they sell to the US, I was completely unable to find the app that they reference in here, which is called Cidana TV, Cidana DTV. And they had another app out there intended for completely different parts of the planet, intended for Europe, Asia, whatever, but certainly not intended for the United States. Now, my problem has been that, and this is an example of the shipping label, if you can see that. And the individual who's been communicating with me is this Wu Young Gu. I may be mispronouncing his name, but that's basically it. So what happens is I don't find the app. I can't get it operating. I send an email. I have to wait 24 hours for them to respond. And they send me very clipped responses, like you got the wrong app and blah, blah, blah. They don't just send me a link to an FAQ of instructions that could give me options on how to work with it that I can dynamically get to without pieces of paper or a one-line response in an email. So we've been going back and forth for quite a long time. It's been well over a week and a half. I'm within a couple of days of expiring on eBay's ability to assist me with the return. I've already asked them for a return address. Now, the first time they said they sent me a link, but all they really sent me were pictures of the same instructions, which were no help, obviously. The second time they sent me a link to what was obviously, after I loaded it on, absolute spam and filled with malware. And when I realized what I had loaded onto my tablet, I immediately did a factory reset to get it off of there and prevent them from accessing any of my information. So, okay, so I had to nuke the tablet. Next thing, I basically said, well, I'm done. I want my money back. They finally send me the shipping address, the shipping information, and they've asked me now to try one more time to download an APK file that they've uploaded into something called File Dropper. I used that when I was sending them video of what I originally had problems with. So now we're going to try this one more time. But I just wanted to give you the intro, and then I'll show you what happens when I get into it. Now, it may be that they're legitimate and they have a legitimate app, but for some reason it's been removed from the Google Play Store. It may be that they're an absolute scam. I don't know yet because this has been so long And there's really no reason why it should be this difficult to get the information to us. So I'll give you the rundown and show you what it looks like on my tablet when I get it loaded. So I've spared you some of the difficult, the awkward part of going through FileDropper and all that. But this looks promising. However, it is weird that what they sent me via FileDropper is a demo file, ATSC demo, which makes absolutely no sense since this is supposed to be cleared for production. So now I'm going to go through and try to install. Okay, so in the cut, I'll fast forward through this if it turns out to be too long. There we go, app installed, open. Okay, now it's prompting me. Okay, make sure it's plugged in the right way. Open ATSC demo when this device is connected. Okay, we don't have any other reason not to. Alright, so now we're going to make sure we're plugging in an antenna. Now I have very strong signal for TV by antenna in this household, so there's absolutely no reason we shouldn't run into something here. Wow, it's actually set for the right country. And it fails. Okay. Let's go back in here, see if we can find it. So you get the point. I've had no good luck so far with whatever I've tried to do with these guys. Oh, wow. Now it looks like it might be working. Signal strength. So it's catching channels here. Wow. This might actually be it. So we'll set this down. And you probably can't see that very well. There we go. So it's going through. So far it says 0 channels found. But this is the furthest I've gotten in any of the installation process. So we'll probably retry it with the larger antenna on if we find nothing this time. And I'll restart it in a little. I'll restart this in a bit. So I've restarted the scan process, and I've restarted it with the extra large antenna. So you can see it's scanning once again. Now I know for certain there's roughly 30 or 40 live channels around here that I can pick up on a coat hanger. It doesn't require a big reception. So we're going to continue with this scan. I'll restart it in a bit, but so far I'm not optimistic that it detected even one channel so far. And you know, ultimately I'm going to send it back because, you know, for whatever reason it just ain't working. Now whether it's quality of product, or quality of the app, or the fact they sent me a demo that isn't really working, but they obviously do not have a production app that's readily available out there for ATSC. So maybe I'm just some part of some trial group that they're working with. I don't know. So we'll restart this in a little bit, and I'll show you whether I'm successful or not. So here we are. We've just completed the scan. It tells me 0 channels are found. So in believing that, I'm going to go to done and just see if I can't try to sort whatever it might have gone through the menu and options. So I don't know. To me, this is proven to be an absolute waste of time, and I'm going to return it. So I'll leave notes at the end of this to give you details on exactly what I ordered, so you know what you can avoid or what to look out for. Have a good day. So in the interest of fairness, as a follow-up to trying to get an ATSC receiver, I could see that some detractors would try to say that, frankly, I probably don't receive TV channels in my home, and that's not true. And this is the benchmark by where I'm trying to get to. If I could use a tablet, and the reason to receive TV, I have this old thing called a digital prism, and you can tell it definitely receives TV signal in my home. And this is just one of many, many channels that I can receive. So I don't have a problem with TV reception. As you'll note, this is not running on cable or anything else. It's running off the stock radio style antenna, which is exactly what I also attempted to do with the ATSC tuner that was supposed to plug into the cell phone. So if anybody has issues with the idea that maybe I don't receive TV signals in the house, that's not true. This should show that. And this is ultimately what I would like to be able to do. Use a tablet with a little dongle, plug it in, and be able to use it whether it's in my garage, in my home, or out at a campground where I can watch whatever I want to on the road. So I just wanted to put that out there so that if there were any detractors, they could understand what's going on. But yeah, and you know, for a dongle that would be put on a cell phone or a tablet, I wouldn't even necessarily require a remote, which this includes. Now, why am I worried about getting rid of this? You'll notice a blinking red light, which is the battery. That battery costs more than the TV cost when it was new. So ultimately I'd like to subsequently replace this because I can't run it on battery at all. And that's the net of it. So we've initiated the eBay return.